In this video, I want to discuss a way to analyze your audience. There are many ways to do audience analysis, but here is a simple graph or table that allows us to consider our audience in terms of what it knows, what our audience knows, and what they feel, what their attitude is towards our topic. All right, and your topic could be whatever. The X, it could be something that you're persuading someone about. Let's just take it as that. So if your audience is informed about your topic and sympathetic, that means they're already convinced that it needs to be done. They're on your side. They view things as you view it. That's a better way to view the word sympathetic in terms of audience. If an audience is sympathetic with you, they view that topic as you view it, with all your attitude, all your commitment and concern with it. So this is perhaps the easiest audience to address concerning your topic. Consider yourself in front, picture yourself in front of a group of people. 20 of them, and they are informed about what you're talking about, and they are with you. At this point, you need to cheer them on to activity. You need to encourage them, right? You don't need to give them new information, and you don't need to somehow convince them because they're already convinced. So really, this is where a lot of laughter, a lot of good feelings flow, a lot of unity and encouragement. It's like a pep rally, all right? Now consider the audience that is sympathetic but uninformed. So they like what you're saying, they like the topic, but they just don't know much about it. You might run a risk here because as they become more informed, they may decide that they are not really on board with this. So they might drop away from it, and they may become either disinterested or antagonistic. So an audience that really is kind of with you, you sense their goodwill toward you and this topic in general, but they don't have a lot of data. It's kind of iffy because if they get more data, if they get more informed, they may actually make a different decision than what they're making now. And this is especially the case if the audience is sympathetic and misinformed, because if the idea is they like what they hear, but they got the wrong data. So this is especially prone. These people are especially prone to switch sides when they get the right information. All right, now disinterested just means they don't lean one way or the other. They're not for your persuasive topic. They're not against it. They're neutral. All right, neutral might be the word here. Now, if they're informed and neutral, how are you going to approach them? They don't need information. Maybe they need an appeal to their emotions, or appeal to their values, or appeal to justice, or an appeal to ethics or something, but they certainly don't need more information. If they're disinterested and uninformed or misinformed, the hope is if you give them the right information, then they will move from being neutral to being sympathetic. So if you know that this neutral group is neutral because it doesn't have information, your job then is to give them information. If you know that they have the information, but they're still not committed one way or the other, your job is to make an appeal based on what they should do with the information, their obligation, their responsibility, that sort of thing. Now, the hardest audience to deal with is the audience that's informed, that knows all the facts, and yet is against your position on your interpretation of the facts. Does not want to do what you are saying should be done, does not want to interpret it the way you are interpreting it. In fact, they actively go the other way. How would you ever address this? They have all the facts, and we're assuming that the facts are correct, that they know the right information, yet they have made a decision to view things differently, to not be committed to your position, but to be committed to the opposite position. The way you would address this audience is to approach them on first level things, like their presuppositions, definition of terms. It would be a very philosophical discussion. It would be examining the warrants of belief, the grounds for how they interpret things. If they're antagonistic and uninformed or misinformed, the hope is as soon as they get the right information or enough information, they will move either to neutral or sympathetic. So if you know this is the case here, you might have some inner confidence as a writer, as a presenter, and you would base that confidence on a good, clear presentation of the facts. Because if you can just get that out there, then your audience will probably, you're hoping, move up to these two categories. If you know they're informed, and you also know they're antagonistic, and you have to talk to this, you might want to just avoid that audience altogether. But if you do have to talk to them, you should be prepared to discuss things on a logical ground, but you should also be very much in tune with the sense that you cannot let a negative tone, you cannot let any sort of attitude or emotion creep into your discussion here that would flare up their antagonism. So that would be much more in the fore here. Down over in these two boxes, again, the hope is as soon as they get the information, they will stop being antagonistic. So you may feel a little more confident that they are not out to, against you personally. All these negative feelings can be dissipated. But if you know they're informed, what's going to dissipate those negative feelings? So you need to be very much in control of, I'm not going to let these negative feelings come out in my writing or my presentation or influence me as I respond to this audience.